What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how it is definitely possible to analyze a deal in less than 30 seconds. Alright, what's up, guys? My name is Graylan Stewart. I'm a virtual wholesaler, entrepreneur, fix and flipper, and buy and hold guy. So my channel is all about wholesaling mostly, and I teach you the truth about wholesaling, how it really works in everyday life, because we do this full time, all day, every day, nationwide. So I'm going to tell you the good and the bad, and how it's easy and how it's hard in some ways. So anyway, today's video though is about how you can analyze a deal in 30 seconds or less. And when I say deal, that's a property. Let's just say, for example, you get a seller calling you on a weekend and you're not necessarily in front of your computer or anywhere where you can try to access, information that you typically would want to look at and that kind of thing. But, you go through the whole, conversation over the phone while you're in the supermarket or wherever you might be at that time, or maybe on a on a vacation or wherever you are at the time. But what I'm telling you is, it is definitely possible to analyze the deal quickly in 30 seconds or less. At least it gives you an idea, like if they're giving you a price, because that is the key. You always want them to kind of tell you a price, especially if they're calling you. Always get the price out of them first. But anyways, so the way you can analyze a deal over the phone, obviously, if you're out and about, you can't be at your computer. So, you're talking on the phone, you can definitely put it on speaker, ask them the address, type it into Google. Obviously, Google is going to pop up that address in a lot of different ways. It's going to show it on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, all these different websites. There's several of them. And what you want to do is you could click on one of those websites just to kind of look at it real quick at a glance, because we do this all the time. And to be honest, most of the time we base our purchases off of the Zillow price, just when we're kind of glancing at it. Obviously, you can do a deep dive on it later after you finish your conversation, but initially it's super simple. Just put them on speakerphone, Google the address, click the Zillow link. Okay, the Zestimate is $120,000. Cool. Hit the back button, on your browser, and then click the Redfin button. Okay, $129,000 is what their estimate is. Click the back button, hit the Realtor button, $118,000. Okay, so you're at 118, 120, 129, whatever I said. So let's just say, okay, average those three, $125,000. So in your head, okay, maybe it's worth $125,000. We can verify that later, but just a quick estimate. So you can do this in 30 seconds and off the cusp, real quick. If you need an offer right away, or if they give you a number right away, you want to know if it's a good deal or not. That's what you do. So let's just say it's 125 on that average. Divide that in half, okay? And what is that? 62,500, I think. I'm not great at math in my head, but okay, so $62,500. So if they're telling you, yeah, they want 70 grand, you're in the right ballpark at least, right? Because you can pretty much buy a house at 50% and kind of know that you can move it. My goal, if on a quick glance, if I'm seeing that the ARV is average of 125, I know half of that is 62.5, then I'm trying to buy it at 50 or 52 up to 55. Because really what I do is split that in half. That's your sales price, okay? It already factors in the repairs and all the different possibilities of a distressed home that's going to have. And again, this is just a quick glance. It's a quick analyzing a property or a deal. It's not perfect, but at the same time, even when you spend an hour or two trying to analyze a deal, that's not perfect either. It's all subjective. It's all on experience and what you've done in the past, what your area, all those different things. But really, we're just talking about a quick glance. You can analyze the deal in 30 seconds or less, probably less if you can as soon as you get the address, type it into your Google and then hit the Zillow button. you see it's 125, just split that in half, 62,500. If they're telling you 70, you know you're in the right ballpark. I'm going to try to get them down to 50, 55, maybe even go up to 60 max. So you're only 10 grand apart. So you know you're in the ballpark and you can play, right? So if that's the case, then obviously, you know, if you're doing this right, if it's a call reel, you know, if you have all your phone numbers coming through call reel and they called you, then obviously that conversation is recorded automatically. Okay. If you set it up correctly, it's recorded. So, you know, you can have the conversation with that peace of mind. Just say, hey, I'm actually out with my family right now. I've got all your information. Let me get back to you. It definitely sounds like we're in the same ballpark, potentially. Let me look at it a little bit closer, do a deeper dive into it, so I can really give you a true cash offer. So later you can actually go back in there, analyze it, look for comps, you know, get the true ARV. Maybe you were wrong. Maybe the ARV ended up being, you know, 115, but maybe you're wrong the other way. Maybe it's actually 130. So you never know. But either way, at a glance, you can just say, okay, I can probably pay in the $60,000 range just based on what the Zestimate is, or based on what Redfin is, based on what Realtor.com is. Now, don't get me wrong, none of those sites are perfect, but they are seeming to get better and better, especially Zillow. It's a lot better than it was a couple years ago. We really base a lot of what we do on Zillow, and it works. I mean, we do tons of deals all the time. Zillow is fairly accurate. It's at least accurate enough to make offers, you know, and go from there, you know, because that's kind of what we do. We don't waste our time deep diving into every property, because, you know, when you're getting leads every hour coming into your CRM, you know, we have other things to do, and not to mention follow up. So on average, you know, we're bringing in 60 to 70 leads is pretty much where we stay at. And these are actually qualified leads. They don't go into our Podio system unless they're solid qualified leads ready, potentially ready to go. But so you got these coming in every week between, you know, 2.5 acquisition managers, what I have, because I've got 2 full-time and 1 part-time. And then you've got all the follow-up that they had from all the weeks past. So no one has time to analyze every single deal, you know, for 30 minutes to an hour. We would never get all the deals that we get, you know, because of that time constraint. So you have to get good at quickly analyzing something, just so you know you're in the same ballpark or not. Then you can always call back or deep dive when you feel like you're close. You know, at a glance, if they're telling you 70, and at a glance it looks like you can pay in the $60,000 range, then you know that you're in the same ballpark. And at that point, you can have a deeper conversation, go into that, you know, into that research a little bit more, to where you can actually get a true ARV, really get a good grip on what the repairs are and what you could purchase it for. So that's really it. Hopefully that makes sense, and it's beneficial to you, because that's really saved me a lot of times, because you don't want to sound like an idiot. If sure, you can just call them and say, or when they call, you can just say, yeah, I'm on vacation, or I'm with my family, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, sometimes you don't get second chances. So you got to take that opportunity when you get it. Make sure that you have the conversation while you have it. You know, that's part of it. If you're kind of a one-man band, which a lot of wholesalers are when they start out, especially. But even my acquisition managers, those calls are, it's on a round robin, so it goes to the different ones, you know, on the weekends. So somebody's going to answer that phone, because the goal is to answer the phone call live, because we don't want to miss a solid hot lead. But anyways, that gives you a quick glance at what you can offer, or at least a ballpark, especially if they're giving you a price. So that saved me even when I was doing this on my own, you know, a couple years ago. And then you can deep dive into it later on. Just say, great, it sounds like maybe we can make something happen. You know, I think we're kind of close. I'm not sure that we can get the 70 grand, but let me look into it a little bit deeper, and I'll call you back on Monday morning. How's that sound? Can I call you about 9 a.m.? Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. So anyways, that's what you do. Analyze the deal in 30 seconds. Type in the address, search it in Google, click on Zillow, click on Redfin, click on Realtor.com, average those, split that in half. That's what you know you can kind of be in that ballpark. So that's it, guys. Hopefully this was beneficial. Please give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're always bringing more content every week. Also, give me some ideas if y'all have any other ideas that you'd like to see me make videos on, because I have done a few of the videos based on what people asked for. So I'm definitely willing to do that, and hopefully we will see you in future videos. Thanks a lot. See you later.